they check, firmware developers, they check out the individual test beds. They run the code that they're developing, execute the test, look and find the problem. They check the test bed back in, then they go back and fix their code, and then they do it again. So there's multiple engineers working remotely, checking out all those individual arrays that we have. This is the IPQ area. This is independent component qualification. This is where the engineers test the individual disk drives, all the components that make up the disk drive shelf, all the components that make up the controllers. They gather that information and feed that back to either the hardware team or the firmware developers, and then keep moving forward until they've basically got all the problems worked out of the product till we get down to system testing.
So can I point out something with EVA? Notice how all the lights are blinking in unison? That really has to do with, if you think of what the EVA does, how it virtualizes across the whole pool. I mean, everything's getting hit. I'm sure this is kind of a test that's just driving the whole box all at once.
Yeah, that's why striking in action is
that's everything driving out all the IOs.
They run heavy load on there to do maximum IOs, maximum load that they can, and they just keep running those tests to gather information.
So no lazy disk drives in there. Everybody's being pushed.
Everybody's being pushed to the max. We have legacy hard drives, and we also have the newer versions of the hard drives. And this area of test is specifically to test all the different parameters of the hard drive for fiber channel and the other SAS applications that we're coming out with.
Is there any SSD in here?
No, not yet. This section of test is where the hardware engineers actually get into the internal workings of the controller and all the individual pieces that make up the controller and its hardware applications. They get in with their diagnostic tools, oscilloscopes and analyzers, and just run tests, try out the different components like the processors, the memory, and all the other components that are on the motherboard and the controllers itself.
I think you said yesterday, didn't you, that despite some of the disk drives being housed in different size canisters, it's always the same disk drives internally, is that right?
Correct. Yeah, it's the same 3.5-inch drive, we just put them in a different carrier to accommodate the higher drive count shelf.
Absolutely. Right. Fantastic.
This is the first section of where we start the system test level. Each pair of these cabinets is what we call a smoke ring. So what we do is we run tests at a lower level before we start putting all of the software on the large fan. So the engineers have a variety of tests that they run in each one of these smoke ring pairs. They'll run tests at these lower levels until they get the results that they want, and then they'll start making preparations to test the software at the higher level on the heterogeneous fan.
A lot of EVA.
This section of test is system test. This is where we start configuring the large fan and where we start putting things on multiple hops for multiple switches. This is where we have our layer switches or analyzers, and where we start doing the big fan testing where we have all the operating systems all on one fan. So this is where they'll start duplicating the distance, adding that into the fan setup. They'll start doing their perturbations to the fabric, start running the tests where they try to break things, powering down switches, pulling cables, and then the other things that the layer switches do.
Right. That latency injector at the bottom as well.
Yeah, this one right over here. Yeah, we got another one over here that's all cabled up. Yeah, this is a latency box right here.
This is the latency injector, testing distance, tables, things like that. Is this as far as we're going, Tony?
Yeah, we'll go right at the back.
Say hi, Ray.
So this is all of our servers, not all the servers in the room, but the bulk of the servers that the system has. So all these servers is where we integrate with all the fiber optic cable and the patch panels into a large stand. So we'll take all these servers and other manufacturers, you know, like IBM, Sun, Fujitsu, and we integrate those into our stand so that we're testing their host bus adapters, their servers, their software. So we try to pull it all into the final basket here. Oh, that's huge. It'd be easier to just count on the work on the switches, right? It's probably, I have to figure it out one day. There's easily 1,000. But, you know, we're broke up into so many different sections of staff. You know, each group has their own section.
That's Nigel. Nigel, say hi.
Hello, Javon. You want to say hi back?
Hi, Nigel.
All right. Okay, that's about as far as we can go.